tonight? PWI champ, huh? I'll get him in about 2 minutes. Don't worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final chapter in one of CWF Mid-Atlantic's greatest feuds between two CWF originals. Between them, they are responsible for 8 Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championships, 2 Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championships, 2 Weaver Cups, 2 CWF Rumbles, and 3 World Championships. Introducing first the challenger. He is a 2-time former Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion, former Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champion, the winner of the 2002 CWF Rumble, and the winner of the very first Weaver Cup tournament. Tonight he vows that he will end his career as champion. Please welcome to the CWF Homecoming, Dangerous E, Corey Edsel. And his opponent is a 6-time former Mid-Atlantic champion, former Mid-Atlantic Tag Team champion, the winner of the 2005 CWF Rumble and the 2010 Johnny Weaver Cup. And he is the reigning and defending Pro Wrestling International Heavyweight Champion. Welcome back, Ric Converse. One fall for the Pro Wrestling International Heavyweight Championship to a finish.
Ring the bell!
Cecil Scott, this is what the CWF Homecoming is all about. 2 of the greatest we have ever seen. Edsel swings and a miss. Converse is on the offensive. It is one of the greatest feuds in the history of CWF Mid-Atlantic. They have headline battlecades against each other. They have faced in the Weaver Cup tournament finals. They have had some of the greatest matches in the history of this organization. Dangerous E. Corey Edsel says tonight may very well be his night. He said that should he win the title tonight, he will announce his retirement as champion.
That's pretty big, and that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. But real quick, I got to touch on this. Converse immediately went to that hand. That big right hand that Corey Edsel likes to KO people with.
Yeah, the punching power of Edsel is second to literally none. Literally no one has got the punching power of Dangerous E.
Right, no matter how big he is, how much weight he's lost, that punching power has never left.
He does not maintain a full-time schedule. Converse does, wrestling all over against basically opponents from anywhere. He's the traveling champion. Cover 2, going all over defending the championship. Within the past 45 days, Converse has successfully defended the title against Zane Dawson, Arik Royal, and now he looks to make it 3 successful title defenses in less than 2 months. When he goes up against Dangerous E. Corey Edsel, and you're right, Cecil Scott, Converse has gone right after the hand, right after the punching power of Dangerous E.
Well, I think it was because he saw Edsel immediately went for that shot as soon as the bell rang.
Yeah, I've known Edsel a long time. I can assure you, he would have been happy with a one-punch knockout. He would have been happy winning this belt in 13 seconds. No qualms about it. Edsel wants to leave as champion. He wants to win the final chapter in this historic feud. This epitomizes the CWF homecoming. Who will be the last man standing in, CWF and wrestling in the Carolinas is red hot in 2016. I've gone on record and said wrestling in the Carolinas is the hottest it's been in 30 years. A lot of us that have been here since day one have asked ourselves in the past year or so. Beautiful drop kick. We've asked ourselves.
He landed on his hand.
Yeah, he did. That's a bad break for Edsel. Edsel may not be able to use that hand for anything. A lot of us that have been here since day one have asked ourselves, if the generation that came before, if the world was different then, if there was YouTube and file sharing, and if it was easier to get access to footage like it is now, how would the generation that came before this current generation match up to the current generation? Before there was a Trevor Lee and a Roy Wilkins, there was a Corey Edsel and a Ric Converse. I can't say it any clearer than that.
Whoa, Converse with the Frankensteiner.
Converse goes to the air. And one man will win the final chapter of this legendary feud here tonight. Converse going to the submission. The old Border City stretch, I believe.
We saw him break this out against Royal a few weeks ago. And both of these men, we might get a submission here. I don't see Corey Edsel submitting, to
I'd
be
be
perfectly honest.
pretty surprised if that was the case.
But both of these men, I think, would go on record as saying that these two are the toughest opponent of either man's career.
Absolutely. They have traded the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, 4 times between them, I believe. From Edsel to Converse, back to Edsel, back to Converse.
Right, and if you ask a lot of our longtime fans, the ones that have been here
He stopped on him again.
for 10, 15 years, I think they would say these are the 2 greatest champions in company history. That's an opinion, and a pretty strong one.
It's a short list, I would say. It's these two. It's the longest reigning Mid-Atlantic champion in history, Arik Royal, and quite frankly, Trevor Lee is itching up on that list with every passing day. That's a conversation for another time, though, as 2 of our pioneers of CWF Mid-Atlantic. In the days before there was a worldwide YouTube show, in the days of oh, he got him! Oh, he caught him on the floor! He can't win the title on the floor, though! He caught him on the floor, but he can't win the title on the floor!
Well, here's something interesting that happens to that hand. Once it gets damaged enough, it goes numb. And you can throw it as hard as you want. And I think Edsel just realized that.
But a countout does him nothing on his vow to announce his retirement tonight as champion.
Right, you're absolutely right. I think it was a desperation move on his part.
A countout does him nothing.
He saw the opening and took it.
This is going to be a bad break for the challenger.
He's up to 8.
Oh, he stopped him. He stopped the count. He had to stop the count. Converse was not going to make it.
No, he was KO'd.
But now Converse has had all that time on the outside. I'm trying to get a look in his eyes if he knows where he is or not. Edsel into the cover.
Smart.
2. I didn't catch Edsel at the weigh-in, but even with all the weight that he's lost, he still has got that size advantage on Converse.
Right, he still wrestles like a big man.
Yeah, he still hits. He retained the punching power of a 400-pounder who studies the sport of boxing like nobody else in the sport of wrestling I've ever met. This is the guy that has trained with pro fighters. His punching power is unreal.
And a lot of people don't know this. He had a promising boxing career at one time. He could have become a pro boxer.
Yeah, there was a point back about 10, 11 years ago that he had to make the choice between defending the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship or pursuing a professional boxing career. Boom! Caught him. 2! Only got 2. By the time that Edsel finally lost that championship to Ric Converse, which, by the way, was the longest title reign in history until Royal broke it a decade later. By the time Edsel finally lost the championship, that window had closed. That opportunity was no longer there. He chose the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, and he chose CWF Mid-Atlantic over a potential run as a pro boxer. It's not something that he talks about very often. I don't know how much it bothers him, but I have a feeling if it bothers him at all, it will bother him a lot less if he makes good on his vow and leaves tonight as champion.
Well, it's human nature to always wonder what if. Did I make the right choice? And I feel like he's probably very content with the choice he made.
Converse stepping on the hand.
Yeah, Converse has not forgotten about that hand.
No. Matter of fact, in the history of CWF Mid-Atlantic, he might have been hit with it as much as anybody else.
Right, before it was a signature move. I've been hit with that Edsel right hand.
Oh yeah, without question.
Converse, one thing he does very, very well, he always sticks to a game plan. Nice side slam.
Two! Only got two.
A lot of guys, there's a saying that everybody has a game plan until you get hit. Converse does a good job of sticking with it even after he gets hit.
Yeah, he does. That's a big, big strength to Converse. Edsel going to the abdominal stretch now. This is going to be interesting. He's close enough to the ropes.
Well, there you
Yes,
go.
it is. Does Edsel, I was going to say, does Edsel want it bad enough to take the cheap shot? He did not even let me get the words out of my mouth before Edsel went to the ropes. Corey Edsel would rather win dirty than lose clean tonight. Can you blame him, Cecil Scott? Back is against the wall.
No, absolutely. These salty veterans, that salt never goes away. Especially when you put yourself on the spot, saying, hey, I'm retiring. You want to win this title. But Referee Pierce caught him. Damage done. Stuck him. And this has been more or less a slugfest from the start.
Oh, big spear.
Got a lot of elevation on that cover. A lot of spring in his step off of that spear.
Edsel's got to refocus. He's got to regroup. He's got the opening right now. Converse is down. He's got to drown out the pain in that hand and keep pressing forward. Boom! The point of the elbow hit the canvas.
Right, and all the damage that's already been done to the hand, the nerves going up in that forearm. This is a good opening for Converse.
These two are throwing hurting bombs in this championship match. Sleeper hold.
Nice sleeper. And the way these guys are going at it, you wouldn't think that it's been a decade since they last fought.
Into the ropes.
Oh, sky-high powerbomb.
Oh, he stuck him right in the center of the ring, but it took a lot to muscle that big man up.
Good feet over. That was a two. If he could have got the feet over the shoulder, that would have done it.
Yes, it would have. Edsel resilient. Staying alive. Converse up, looking confident.
And another hard shot by Converse. He's throwing some pretty hard punches himself tonight.
Very, very different. Completely different from that scientific wrestling match. These two are throwing bombs at each other. Oh, he caught him! Oh, he caught him!
Yeah, his knees buckled.
Oh, he caught him! Edsel caught him, but both men are down. Edsel caught him with the KO, but both men are down. Oh, he's got to make that cover, man. Valuable seconds are ticking away. The sand in the hourglass on the career. Dangerous C. Corey Edsel's ticking away. Two.
He had to shake that hand out. He couldn't get any feeling going in it.
That's a bad break for the challenger. He landed that KO. It had to jar the bones. It had to jar all the way up his arm, but he did land the KO.
If he can get one more good shot, he's got a good chance of getting this win.
Spinebuster. Oh,
sir.
He's on top. There it is.
Cover.
Two. Ooh, so close. So close, Cecil Scott.
One of the signature Corey Edsel moves there. He just said it, it's getting numb on him.
That's bad news for the champion.
Very bad. He may do irreparable damage to the hand, but he won't feel a thing when he throws it.
You've been in the ring. Talk about when that hand goes numb or something like that happens. This is real bad for the champion.
I'll come back to it if he gives me a chance.
Yes, caught it.
Complete shot.
Oh, face first, right into the canvas. Face first, cover. Two. Got him. He sent Edsel face first into the canvas and retains the title.
Incredible effort by the challenger, Corey Edsel. The champion was just a bit too much tonight, Brad.
Unbelievable. This is what the CWF homecoming is all about. Two of the men that built this house going at it one more time for the #1 prize. Converse holds on to it barely.
11 minutes, 13 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, and still the PWI International Heavyweight Champion, Ric Converse.
Some of you may know this, some of you don't. But after 16 years, my body just can't take this anymore. That was my last match. And aside from Scott Dawson, there's only one other person I wanted to go out against, and it was an honor to be beat by you one last time. Rick, thank you. You could have said no.
You're still going.
No, sorry.